My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for being with us. In our first story tonight, the Aviation Ministry has inaugurated a 5-member committee to investigate the Starbow accident at the Kotoka International Airport last week. It is recorded that a Kumasi-bound Starbow aircraft skidded off the tarmac at the KIA, injuring about 5 passengers. The Minister for Aviation, Cecilia Dapar, said this is to ensure the safety of the nation's air services. The committee is chaired by Air Commodore Nana Kweku, retired.
I underscored the importance of safety as one of the determining factors for the success of the hub vision and reiterated that institutional and policy framework had been put in place to enhance safety and security of our air services. In accordance with Section 13.6.1 of the Ghana Civil Aviation Act 2016, Act 906, the minister responsible for aviation shall, when an accident occurs in the state of Ghana, order an independent investigation into any accident involving a civil aircraft, whether such accident is required to be notified under these regulations or not. It is in consonance with the provisions of the Act that I have constituted this committee to investigate the incident involving the Starbow aircraft. I have no doubt about the level of expertise of the committee members in aircraft accident-related matters. I therefore urge you to do your work diligently and independently. You must be guided by the provisions of the Act in the discharge of the task entrusted to you and offer recommendations that will assist in ensuring safety and security of our air services. Government, through the Ministry of Aviation, remains committed to assisting local airlines and entrepreneurs to set up strong private airlines that can utilize the nation's route rights. Thus, I wish to reiterate our resolve to supporting local airline operators to stay in business and to perform efficiently and effectively for the socio-economic development of the country.
So what's going to happen to the sacked workers? Here's the explanation given by the sector minister.
And emphatically that they have temporarily suspended all operations. And I believe after the investigations, they will come back with some feedback for us in the ministry, and we'll put it out there. Because I know maybe the people, if you even add ancillary services, they are more than the 200. Here we are trying to find jobs for our youth and for Ghanaians. And here is this accident that is threatening the job security, and we are not taking this lightly.
Well, away from that, an executive vice chairman of Vanguard Assurance, Dr. Gideon Amenyado, is advising insurance must make payment of claims less stressful for clients if the industry can make a headway with insurance penetration. According to him, the challenges encountered by clients when making claims discourage many people from subscribing to one form of insurance or the other. Mr. Amenyado made the call at the launch of Vanguard's new motor insurance product, Telematics Insurance.
Currently, insurance penetration in Ghana is said to be hovering around a low rate of 2%. As industry players grapple to raise the penetration rate, Dr. Gideon Amenyado explains that the situation can be improved should claims payments be made more quick and easy. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of Telematics Insurance by Vanguard Assurance.
The product is not the policy that we launched. The product is claim. It's a promise to pay claims. And if we pay attention to that process and reinvent the whole claim process, not putting a lot of bottlenecks, everybody will take insurance. Because if the client doesn't see, you say you pay claims and a person comes and he has to do this, do that, do this, do that, and those things blocks the claim process. Those processes, I'm not saying that take them off, because we need to be able to know that there's a genuine process. But technology can help us be able to identify those things well. People commit crimes and they hide, but digital is able to bring it out. So we need to adapt that in the insurance industry. And once we do it, Ghanaians like technology. Look at the number of people who carry mobile phone. Even though people who cannot even afford other things, they buy mobile phone because they can see the benefit. So they buy the units and they prioritize units more than anything else. So they want to buy insurance. But we must make sure the product called insurance, which is what? Promise to pay claims. That promise is being delivered.
Telematics insurance is a form of automobile insurance that deploys technology to measure various aspects of how, when and where you drive. This allows for quick response and access to claims in case of a car accident. Mr. Amenyodo explains how this new technology will become a game changer in the industry.
It's happened. So what we have done in telematic insurance is to use technology to solve the whole problem. What we've done is that whenever there's an accident, your location per the device you are putting will be able to know where you are. So all you have to do is that press the button. It sends an SOS message to us that something horrible has happened to you, our client. So that message comes straight to Vanguard and we pick it up through the device we are putting, with the telematic device we are putting in the car. So we'll dispatch on the spot our surveyors who come to the spot because they know where you are located. You don't need to call us. So when they get there, they will take pictures and be able to put a very simple report of what happens, whose fault it is. So you don't need to give us police report. So telematic insurance basically is a game changer. It's one to revolutionize and make the claim process, which is really the product that you are buying, simpler. No notification, no police report. Those are the two benefits, and these benefits are very important that they will rewrite the books of insurance.
Sheila Tamaklu for Joy Business.
Right, let's turn to energy matters now. And board chairman of the Volta River Authority, Kwikwa Otre, has hinted that the VRA will commence a 12 to 15 megawatt project in the coming months. This follows the successes chalked with its existing 2.5 megawatt solar project. He disclosed this after touring Cargill's solar project with some stakeholders at the Free Zone Enclave in Tema.
Cargill's solar system, designed, supplied and installed by Dutch and Co Ghana Limited, will produce 764 megawatts of electricity annually. The company's €720,000 solar project commissioned by President Akufo-Addo in November will provide 15% of Cargill's electricity needs.
Some of you may be aware that VRA has its own solar program where we have already installed 2.5 megawatts and are about to install another 12 to 15 over the next 15 months. So all of these things come together in terms of the country's renewable program, and we're very impressed with what Cargill has done. It's saving carbon credits, it's producing carbon credits and saving carbon dioxide. It's also saving on the electricity cost, and it is really the future. And so we came to look and learn and listen to how they got it done.
Plant maintenance officer at Cargill, Richard Ejay, says the idea to go solar started in 2015 when cost of power increased.
We also thought it wise to have a two-way achievement of the goals by introducing environmentally friendly means of power generation, and solar came up quite strong in that objective, and that's why we installed this 565 kilowatt peak capacity solar installation. For one, energy prices are quite high, so at peak we produce 24 hours, 7 days a week, so every time we're generating from the sun we are using that energy, and that's free energy, and that helps us to reduce the cost of our products, so that's very important for us.
Meanwhile, renewable energy consultant for Government of Ghana, Stefan Baylor, wants subsidies of renewable energy scrapped.
Ghana has taken exactly the right steps. They have a Renewable Energy Act since the year 2011. There's various incentives for the private sector, but also the public, to invest in renewable energy. But I think the time has now also arrived in Ghana where renewable energy does not necessarily have to rely on subsidies. What they need is an enabling environment for investment, because it is competitive. The prices for, in particular, solar, but also wind, keep on dropping, and therefore it already is and will be much cheaper than generation from gas or oil.
You're watching Business Live. We want to take you to a press conference being organized by the Electricity Company of Ghana. If you've been following the news, you would have heard about a problem with the prepaid vending system that is causing a lot of chaos in the system. Right now, the ECG is addressing a press conference. We're hearing the ECG is saying that it has mobilized enough resources to overcome the challenge. Currently happening is a question and answer session. Let's listen in.
You know, under the laws, per the regulations, penalties are prescribed if a utility does not perform according to a certain standard. And I must indicate that the PURC letter was rather addressing that. But you can refer to it and we can all, interrogate it. But it did not say that, thinking of instructing us. If we get to that stage where we have to discuss with them to think about any compensation to any particular customer, that is usually discussed. But the letter that we are referring to did not indicate that. Yes, customers remain at the project office to vend after reactivation. And I want to take this opportunity to inform all customers who have had their cars reactivated that they can vend anywhere. So, because we have set up cashiering points at the project office to create some convenience for our customers, that is why they have taken advantage of that opportunity to do that. But going forward, I want to assure all customers that once their cars have been reactivated, they can vend anywhere. Now, PURC, yes, the regulator has demanded a response from us or written to us, made a demand on us, and we would respond appropriately. It's an issue between ECG and the regulator.
But the deadline was today. Close of day.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that we would, make sure that we are, complying with the regulator's demand or request.
Oh, you want us to tell you the content?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
We're happy to hear that.
Yeah. So, in fact, we have that relationship, and we would, it's not out of place for the PRC to demand an explanation for, and so it's something that we do regularly, and this is
out of their oversight.
Yes, out of their oversight responsibility over us. Now, the time for what? Is it reactivation?
Yeah.
And when can I?
I asked per the numbers of customers at the
okay.
How many have had their power situation restored?
Okay.
You can't give me in terms of quantity.
Yeah.
In terms of
yeah.
And there's how long it takes for the car to be reactivated. Is it like in terms of 2 hours or the whole 24 hours?
Yeah.
All right, so that was live from the ECG headquarters. You had the MD there addressing concerns over the past few days. If you are an ECG customer in some areas of Accra, you may have encountered some difficulty buying credit. Well, he's saying that that is being solved, that the ECG has mobilized enough resources to deal with the challenge. The MD also saying or assuring customers that once their cards are reactivated, they can vend. He has also been responding to warnings from the PURC that they may be sanctioned if they do not work towards fixing the challenge. The MD saying that the ECG was going to do everything in its capacity to meet the regulator's demands. So that's the latest from the ECG headquarters. We want to move on to some other stories for you right now on Business Live. Now, the cost of credit in the country would witness some significant reduction from next year. That's a strong prediction coming from the EcoBank boss, Dan Saki. But would this lead to an improved loan extension to businesses? Georgia Faye has more.
Boss's forecast has been influenced by ongoing national identification programs like the Ghana Post GPS project and efforts to start issuing national identification cards from next year. According to Mr. Saki, all these initiatives would make it easier to identify and track prospective loan seekers, a development that would impact on interest rates and the rise in loan defaults.
Once somebody is able to acquire an ID card, the assumption is that that ID card has to be reflected by way of an account that is unique to him. And we also believe that if we can identify an individual, it is preventive in the sense that that person is aware that if I take a credit and I don't pay, I will be located. Today, for most people, it is easy to just disappear. One, you will not be able to trace them. I think the major benefit for us as banks is the fact that people who ordinarily would have been excluded from financial services will now qualify, and they will be in a position to improve their lifestyle. If you take an individual who is able to acquire probably a television set, okay, that person has now access to better information and is able to hopefully take better decisions. A small trader by the roadside who is now able to acquire an ID and for that matter be able to access financial services is now able to expand his business. So the greater opportunities for the banks lies in being able not just to identify people but also to grow the base of our clients.
For many, the concern is whether this would really address the problem of access to credit. Well, the answer from the EcoBank boss is that the challenge would soon be over when the identification project takes shape. And what about this argument that low interest rates could lead to high loan defaults again? So the banks may be cautious and wouldn't be that aggressive on loans even when the rates are low. Figures from the Bank of Ghana ending September showed that total growth in loan advances have witnessed some significant reduction despite the marginal drop in interest rates.
Now, mortgage financing giant HFC Bank says it does not expect the entry of more players into the industry to affect its market share and profits. Ghana Home Loans recently secured a license to operate as a universal bank, promising to change the face of mortgage financing in the country. There are fears that this could bring about some serious competition into the industry, affecting the operations of the market leader, HFC. But speaking to Joy Business at a meeting with property developers, the managing director of HFC Bank, Anthony Jordan, he said that the current market demand requires more financiers to support its growth.
The launch of Ghana Home Loans as a bank, we don't see it. Yes, they are our competitors, but in fact, I would say I see them complementing the effort. The deficit housing stock is 1.7 million housing units short, and there's enough business, I think, for both HFC and Ghana Home Loans. So I am not unduly concerned about that. I think there's enough business for all of us in the market today.
What would you tell those who say that this market is quite limited, even with those who are banking with banks and credit-worthy people? It's just a small space, and therefore maybe you have to consolidate your share and make sure you don't lose the little share that you have.
I think the market will continue to grow. Yes, you have more players, but like I said, there are more and more people needing houses. There are more developers. It is a question of education. A lot of people, and that's why we have in this seminar as well today, to create a greater awareness for the education so all players will know what are some of the constraints we face as stakeholders in the industry, and we will continue the education program. People qualify for mortgages and they're not even aware, and that's what this education program is about, creating that greater awareness and increasing the market for mortgages.
You're watching Business Live. It's Friday. We want to have a wrap of trading activities on the stock market. Here's Bertha Tibiga of Gold Coast Fund Management.
Well, this week the stock market has not been very active, let me put it that way, in terms of the equities that trade on daily basis, and even the total volumes of shares that we see trading on daily basis has gone down as compared to previous months and even previous weeks. And this week we haven't seen a lot of equities moving on their share prices. We've also seen some equities lose on their opening prices on the stock market by close of trade on some of the days that we traded, actually from Monday to Thursday. But as of yesterday, we had only 19,200 shares trading, giving us a sales value of about 16,860 Ghana cedis, and that is quite low, or it's extremely low for a stock market to trade such volume on a daily basis, considering that we have about 38 listed equities on the market. So it's not encouraging. And if you look at the movers that we had only two movers, one gainer and then one loser. Total money to add 2 pesos to a share price, and it closed at 3 cedis 52 pesos, and ETI shared of a peso to close at 15 pesos per share. And the major indices, the composite index and the financial stock index, closed at 48.51% and 43.15% respectively by close of trade yesterday. The CD, let's say, has been relatively stable, if you put it that way, for especially this last quarter of the year. But like I mentioned, the CD hasn't really done so well against the pound and the euro. And if I want to get a year-to-date depreciation of the CD against the pound and the euro, it's 13.59% against the pound and then 17.24% against the euro. And the euro in particular, we don't have much control. It has to do with external factors, which I'll keep hammering on. But the dollar, considering the performance of the CD lately, because the dollar was actually recording a year-to-date of about 4.8%, but now, as at close of yesterday, the CD had lost 5.02% to the dollar on the interbank market.
All right, we're heading next to our interview of the day, and businesses have been advised to prioritize and invest in the health safety of your workers in order to boost productivity and the economy as a whole. Now, speaking on Thought Leadership Program, the Executive Lounge, chiropractor and CEO of Nova Wellness Center, Dr. Nashley Dodo, emphasized the need to create a health culture at the workplace in order to channel resources into acquiring infrastructure and incentives rather than using such resources in curing ailing employees.
How important is health and wellness for an economy like Ghana?
It's extremely important. I mean, without a healthy population, what are we going to achieve? We're going to end up spending a lot of our resources getting people well, rather than spending our resources on other things like education, security, and so on and so forth. So it is absolutely key. Now, especially in a country like Ghana, where our resources are a bit stiff, you know, there's so much,
to say the least.
you know, there's so much that there's only little and has to be spread, you know, across education, agriculture. So I think it is very, very important for corporations to take this health and wellness thing for themselves and ensure that employees are healthy. Because if you think about it, if even 10 of the biggest corporations in Ghana who are hiring, I don't know how many multimedia employees.
Quite a bit.
Yes, so even if it's
a few good hundreds.
Right, even if it's 1,000 and there's 10 companies that are hiring 1,000 people, and all these 10 companies are ensuring that their employees are well, that will go down to affect the families. And you can see the ripple effect. But we're in a country where we're all dependent on government. We're dependent on our national insurance scheme and things like that.
We have great business content for you this weekend. Don't forget to watch the Executive Lounge on Saturday at 6 p.m. We have a repeat for you at 8 p.m. right here on this channel. Of course, there's more business news for you on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. There you see it. you can get up to date on all our news stories, plus our news bulletins, just in case you missed out on them. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching.